I recently went to launch a new YouTube channel, and just before I hit publish on the first video, I realized this is f***ing terrifying. Nobody's going to listen to you, and it will never work out for you. Never does. You loser. 2 months later, the channel was still empty, and the stress of not pulling the trigger had hit me big time. Ed, this is ridiculous. You know that gin tastes better in your oats than Guinness. That's true. But also you jump straight into making videos, you fool. That's always going to end in disaster, because there's 3 things you need to do before you start, and not having them will ensure you never post. So in this video, I'm going to show you what those 3 things are, as well as the thing Beyonce would do if she started a YouTube channel. And at the end of this video, we're going to then launch Drunk Ed's channel live. No, not live. It's live to us. But this is a recording to them. Live. No. No? Alright. So let's start with the first of our 3 key channel launch thingamajiggies. And in order to explain, I need to introduce you to 2.3 million kilometers of sand, which I'm going to leave Ed in now without a single drop of water. Water's cheating. Bye, Ed. Bye. So the reason I've left him behind is because of this. If someone left you in the desert to survive, what do you think your main objective might be? I'd say there'd be 3 things in this order. Survive, find water, and find food. Starting a YouTube channel is like surviving in the desert. In order to post your first video and keep posting them, you have to have a lot of motivation because it's so flipping scary. And we don't like to face our fears. But how the heck do you get motivated? Well, it's actually quite simple. You just need a goal that you're so excited about, not hitting it would feel as severe as not finding water in the desert. So to get myself motivated for my new channel, I wrote down what that goal was, and when I looked at it, I suddenly started to feel excited to post my bank of videos. In fact, let me share it with you. Oh, and for those of you who watched this video where I moaned about needing time off to reevaluate my mission, and I just want to make good videos. This channel was the solution I came up with. Anyway, here's my new channel goal: to change the narrative on YouTube from chasing views to building a personal brand, business, and lifestyle as a result of those views. Now that is a pretty epic goal, right? But wow. Wow. Does it make me want to hit upload when I think of all the YouTubers I've met who could quite easily quit their jobs and have amazing lifestyles if they thought bigger than just making a bit of ad revenue? But that brings us on to a very common problem. In the desert, Ed's goal was to survive, and in order to do that, he had some pretty obvious benchmarks for success. I mean, if he found water, for example. Oh yes, thank God. That would be an amazing result and he could celebrate. Now on YouTube, people tend to make the mistake of saying, I want to get 1,000 subscribers, I want to get monetized. And these types of goals are like sitting in the desert and saying, I'm going to build a sandcastle. I'm telling you now, any one of you can hit those goals. It's just a matter of time and patience. But what everyone can't do is 1, get started, and 2, keep going past that, because when your first ad revenue check for $20 comes in after 3 years of hard work, you will lose all that motivation, which is key to keeping us going. So work out your measures of success that are not just about getting views, that keep you hungry to post, so that when you hit them, you get a feeling of meaningful satisfaction and progress, which is critical to actually get your posting. Bringing us on to the second thing you need before you start a YouTube channel. Where's Ed? Hello? Hello? Oh, Jesus. Oh, Ed. There you are. What the? Oh, yeah, mate, sandcastle. Get in the car, you drunk fool. Is it a bit about Beyonce yet? No, not yet. I can see you. Hello, hello. Stop singing. Get me a copyright strike. Beyonce wouldn't do that to you. So the second thing you need to do before you start a YouTube channel actually applies to anyone, whether or not it's their first or their 10th time. And it all comes down to Skittles. Ed, pass me the Skittles. I asked you to get me a big bag of Skittles. What's this? They got wet. Skittles don't shrink when they get wet, Ed. They did. So, in this glass is a mixture of Skittles. The blue ones, these are the channel growers, and all the other colours, they're a mixture of flops and okay performance. To grow your channel, all you need to do is pull some of these blue Skittles out of your glass, which seems pretty easy, right? Even though there's not that many in there. But of course, YouTube is not that easy. So what you actually have to do is pull all of the blue ones out of this glass when they all look like this. Every video you ever make is gonna feel like a blue Skittle to you, and the mental strain of putting in all that work and getting a fraction of the views you think it deserves is what makes people fear posting or lose the passion to keep going, because it will for a very long time feel like you get no reward. Come on, be a blue Skittle. 0 views. Wait a minute, Mum said she watched it.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
But I want you to think differently to those quitters, and instead of thinking that every video you make has to generate massive views for your channel, instead just think of it as one lesson. A lesson in what topic might get you more views, a lesson in editing, a lesson in making thumbnails, a lesson that will get you one step closer to finding a blue one. Because you'll never feel like a failure if your goal is just to learn something new every time. But you will, and it doesn't matter if you get 10 views or a million views, feel like a failure no matter what you do if you base all of your success on views. Because the second your first video gets 1,000 views or a million views, your expectations will totally change. And your view numbers that would have once seemed like a massive achievement will now make you feel like a failure. Remember that one, it is the hardest to overcome. Is it Beyonce time? Yes, it's Beyonce time. Oh God. So now I'm going to show you what Hollywood's top consultants teach some of the most famous people on the planet to overcome the biggest problem every YouTuber ever has had. But unlike them, I'm not going to charge you tens of thousands of dollars. It's free, because you're looking so fine today. Especially you, Steve. Who's Steve? I don't know, I just thought I'd freak someone out called Steve. Steve. So Beyonce is one of the greatest and most confident performers of all time. Except she's not, because she's a complete imposter. Well, she thinks that anyway. And the crazy thing about this fear of being judged is, it never goes away. In fact, as time goes on and you learn more and more, that feeling's actually going to increase as you realize how little you actually know. And this is rife in celebrities, powerful people, and it holds everyone back. And this was the position I was in with my new channel, because this is about the business and marketing side of YouTube. And I am not Alex Hormozy and Chris Do. I do not have $100 million to my name. I've got this, fake money from Amazon. And although I started my first business 20 years ago, actually won some awards and helped other creators build their businesses, nobody cares. Or at least that's what I've told myself, and why I couldn't hit publish, because I'm an imposter. So to get around this, I turned to Hollywood's most expensive trick, and Beyonce did too. So let me explain. So Beyonce had a big problem. She was afraid of performing on stage, so she turned to something called character invention. This is where you invent a character who performs outside of your own comfort zone. Now, Beyonce's character is called Sasha Fierce. She is a brave, confident, and incredible performer who impacts Beyonce's posture and even the way she speaks. This means it's not Beyonce you're watching up on stage. It's her character, Sasha, and this is what enabled her to get over her fear and accomplish amazing things. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, Ed, that is about as authentic as your Gucci t-shirt. And you're right, it kind of feels like that way. But you're better off creating a character like Beyonce than not getting started at all. That's my t-shirt. So to solve this, I made up my own Sasha Fierce. His name's Ed, and he's the face of Film Booth. He's the performer, he's the safety net from the trolls. Because it's not me out there, it's just that show pony. The thing is, I now need a face of my new channel, Creator Booth, who's not afraid of having his credibility challenged. But how do you make one up? Well, it's actually pretty easy. You just think about all of the things that you want to come across, and then you give it to them. And then you make sure nobody is at home, the windows are shut, and then write down a paragraph of the script. Hit record and just belt it out with as much energy as you can throw at it, then do it again with a little less energy, and again with less. I'm telling you now, you'll watch back one of those clips and you'll see the version of you that ain't no imposter. Name them and then go get recorded. And now you're motivated and confident. There's only one more thing left for you to do. Twerk? No, definitely not that. Subscribe? No, not that. No, actually, yes, that. Stop interrupting. It's time to go and launch a skittle on a brand new channel together. Probably not gonna be a blue one, but you know what? Who cares? No, don't do it. They'll laugh at you. They'll laugh at you. This is never going to work. They're going to hate it. Don't do it. No, don't do it. So now you're sitting there thinking, right, I'm gonna go and set my goals. Stop, do not do that. Because I've got one more thing for you that's gonna give you the motivation of a 16-year-old on prom night by showing you how one YouTuber stopped posting to their 2 million subscribers and started a channel that gets way less views, yet they managed to generate over $100,000 a month from it. And you can get that motivation by watching this video here on the channel that we just launched together live. Well, not live, you know what I mean.